The WNBA is facing a critical moment as Caitlin Clark navigates intense scrutiny and online harassment. With prominent figures in the media failing to acknowledge their mistakes, the narrative surrounding her has become increasingly toxic. As discussions about accountability and mental health take center stage, the question remains, will the league prioritize the well-being of its players, or will it continue to allow harmful narratives to flourish unchecked? The recent events surrounding Caitlin Clark have sparked a significant controversy within the WNBA, shedding light on the toxic narratives that can permeate sports media. As a rising star, Clark has become a focal point of both admiration and criticism, often facing disproportionate scrutiny compared to her peers. This situation raises essential questions about the responsibility of media figures in shaping public perception and the impact of their words on athletes' mental health. The narrative surrounding Clark illustrates a broader issue within women's sports, where female athletes are frequently subjected to intense scrutiny and unfair criticism. It's crucial to examine how these narratives can affect not just the players involved, but also the overall culture within the league. As we delve into this topic, we must consider whether the WNBA is doing enough to protect its players and foster an environment that prioritizes their well-being over sensationalism. The ongoing dialogue around Clark's experience serves as a call to action for both fans and media professionals to advocate for a more respectful and supportive atmosphere in women's sports. Now let's talk about Jamal Hill's controversial comments. Jamal Hill's recent comments regarding Caitlin Clark have ignited significant backlash, highlighting the delicate balance that media figures must maintain when discussing sensitive topics. Hill's remarks suggested that Clark's experiences with online harassment were overstated, which many interpreted as dismissive and harmful. This incident underscores the importance of accountability in sports journalism, where careless statements can perpetuate negative narratives about athletes. Hill's failure to acknowledge her misstep has drawn criticism from fans and fellow commentators alike, emphasizing a growing demand for media personalities to approach discussions about athletes with empathy and care. The fallout from this controversy illustrates how quickly public opinion can shift when media figures fail to recognize their influence on narratives surrounding athletes. As discussions continue, it becomes increasingly clear that Hill's comments are not just an isolated incident, but part of a larger pattern in sports media that often overlooks the human experience of athletes like Clark. This moment serves as a reminder that words matter, and those who wield them must do so responsibly. The role of media in shaping narratives around athletes is critical, particularly when it comes to mental health. In Caitlin Clark's case, the relentless scrutiny she faces can have profound implications for her well-being. The pressure to perform at high levels while dealing with public criticism can lead to increased anxiety and stress for athletes. Media outlets have a responsibility to foster a culture of support rather than one of judgment. By prioritizing mental health awareness in their coverage, journalists can help create an environment where athletes feel safe to express their struggles without fear of backlash. It is essential for media professionals to recognize that their words can either uplift or harm athletes, influencing how fans perceive them. As discussions around mental health gain traction across various sports, it is vital for the WNBA and its media partners to take proactive steps in promoting positive narratives about players' experiences. This shift not only benefits individual athletes but also contributes to a healthier overall atmosphere within women's sports, allowing players like Clark to thrive both on and off the court. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe for all the updates you need about the WNBA world. Let's continue. Let's dive right into the public backlash against media figures. The public reaction to Jamal Hill's comments has been swift and unforgiving, showcasing how fans are increasingly holding media figures accountable for their words. Many supporters of Caitlin Clark have rallied against Hill, demanding that she acknowledge her mistake and take responsibility for perpetuating harmful narratives. This backlash highlights a significant shift in audience expectations. Fans are no longer willing to accept dismissive remarks about athletes' experiences without challenge. The response serves as a powerful reminder that media figures must be mindful of their influence and the potential consequences of their statements on public perception. As social media amplifies voices from all sides, it becomes crucial for journalists to engage in constructive dialogue rather than contribute to divisive narratives. The call for accountability reflects a broader cultural change where fans expect transparency and integrity from those who cover sports. This moment may serve as a turning point in how discussions around athletes are framed, encouraging a more thoughtful approach that prioritizes respect and understanding over sensationalism. Caitlin Clark's journey through online hate has been both alarming and revealing, shedding light on the darker side of fame in sports. As one of the most talented players in women's basketball, she has unfortunately become a target for trolls who hide behind anonymity to unleash vitriol. This harassment not only affects her performance on the court, but also takes a toll on her mental health and overall well-being. Athletes like Clark face unique challenges as they navigate public life while dealing with relentless scrutiny from fans and critics alike. The need for support from fellow players, organizations, and fans is paramount in combating this issue. It emphasizes that no athlete should endure harassment simply for being in the spotlight. Clark's experience serves as a stark reminder of the importance of creating safe spaces for athletes where they can thrive without fear of online abuse or negative commentary. As conversations around mental health continue to evolve within sports culture, it is crucial for everyone involved, fans, media, and organizations, to advocate for change that protects athletes like Clark from such toxic environments. Now, let's dive deeper into the WNBA players' reactions. The reactions from WNBA players regarding the ongoing controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark have been both vocal and supportive. Many players have rallied around Clark, expressing their solidarity and emphasizing the need for a unified front against online hate. This collective response highlights the importance of community within the league, as players recognize that they must stand together to combat negativity. Notably, several prominent athletes have taken to social media to share their thoughts, urging fans and commentators to foster a more inclusive environment. Their statements often reflect a shared understanding of the pressures faced by women in sports, particularly when it comes to public scrutiny. The WNBA Players Association has also been active in addressing these issues, calling for accountability from media figures and encouraging dialogue about mental health. This wave of support not only empowers Clark but also serves as a reminder that athletes are not just competitors. They are individuals deserving of respect and compassion. As we witness this solidarity unfold, it's clear that the WNBA is committed to creating a culture where players can thrive without fear of harassment or judgment. Hold on a second, how do you feel about the support systems that athletes like Caitlin Clark have in place? Are they enough to combat the pressures of public scrutiny? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. The ethics of sports journalism are under intense scrutiny in light of the recent events involving Caitlin Clark and Jamal Hill. Journalists hold a significant responsibility to report accurately and sensitively, especially when discussing issues that impact athletes' lives. In this case, Hill's comments have sparked conversations about the ethical obligations of media figures to avoid perpetuating harmful narratives. Ethical journalism should prioritize truthfulness, fairness, and respect for individuals involved in sports. Reporters must strive to present balanced perspectives, while being mindful of the potential consequences their words may have on athletes' mental health. Moreover, the need for transparency and corrections is vital. Acknowledging mistakes publicly can foster trust between journalists and their audiences. As fans demand higher standards from media outlets, it becomes essential for sports journalists to engage in self-reflection and commit to ethical practices. By doing so, they can contribute positively to the narrative surrounding athletes like Caitlin Clark and help create a more respectful environment in sports journalism overall. Next, racism and misogyny in women's sports. Racism and misogyny remain pervasive issues in women's sports, as highlighted by the recent backlash against Caitlin Clark. Female athletes often face a unique set of challenges that stem from deeply rooted societal biases. The intersectionality of race and gender creates an environment where women of colour are subjected to harsher criticism than their white counterparts. This reality is evident in the way media narratives are framed. Often, black female athletes are portrayed through a lens of stereotypes and prejudice that diminish their accomplishments. The treatment of Caitlin Clark serves as a stark reminder that misogyny is not just about gender. It also intersects with race, leading to compounded discrimination. As discussions around racism in sports gain momentum, it is crucial for organizations like the WNBA to actively address these issues within their ranks. Promoting diversity and inclusion is not just a matter of policy. It requires a cultural shift that recognizes the value of all athletes regardless of race or gender. By confronting these challenges head-on, we can work towards creating a more equitable landscape for all women in sports. Caitlin Clark's support system has played a vital role in helping her navigate the intense scrutiny and challenges she faces as a rising star in women's basketball. Surrounded by family, friends, and teammates, Clark has cultivated a network that prioritizes her mental health and emotional well-being. This support is crucial, especially given the online harassment and public pressure she encounters. Her family has been a constant source of encouragement, reminding her of her worth beyond the court. Teammates also contribute significantly, creating an environment where they uplift each other during tough times. The camaraderie within the WNBA community is essential. Players often share their experiences and strategies for dealing with negativity. Moreover, mental health professionals have become increasingly important in sports, providing athletes with tools to cope with stress and anxiety. As Clark continues to excel in her career, the strength of her support system will be critical in helping her maintain focus and resilience. This collective effort not only empowers Clark but also sets a positive example for other athletes facing similar challenges, reinforcing the importance of having a robust support network. Now let's talk about Dawn Staley's controversial follow. Dawn Staley's decision to follow Antonio Brown on social media has sparked controversy and raised eyebrows among fans and commentators alike. As a respected figure in women's basketball, Staley's choice to associate with someone who has made problematic statements about Caitlin Clark has led to questions about her judgment and values. Critics argue that following Brown sends a message that Staley does not take seriously the impact of his words on female athletes. While Staley has built an impressive career as a coach, this incident highlights the complexities of social media interactions for public figures. The backlash she received demonstrates how closely fans scrutinize the actions of influential figures in sports. Many believe that unfollowing Brown would have been a simple yet powerful statement of solidarity with Clark and other players facing similar challenges. Staley's response to this criticism has been mixed. Instead of addressing the concerns directly, she has defended her social media choices. Wait a moment. Do you think Dawn Staley's decision to follow controversial figures affects her reputation as a coach? What message does it send to players and fans alike? Let us know what you think below. Apologies in media are crucial for maintaining credibility and fostering trust between journalists and their audiences. In light of recent events involving Caitlin Clark, the failure of some media figures to apologize for their hurtful comments has drawn significant criticism. A genuine apology can serve as a powerful tool for healing. It acknowledges mistakes and demonstrates accountability. When journalists fail to admit wrongdoing, it not only damages their reputation, but also perpetuates harmful narratives about athletes like Clark. The media landscape is evolving, with audiences increasingly demanding transparency from those who cover sports. An effective apology should include recognition of the impact one's words can have on individuals' lives, particularly when discussing sensitive topics such as mental health or harassment. By taking responsibility for their actions, journalists can help shift the narrative toward one that emphasizes respect and empathy for athletes. As we continue to navigate these complex dynamics in sports media, it becomes clear that apologies are not just about admitting fault. They are essential for fostering a culture of accountability that benefits everyone involved. Now let's dive deeper into the future implications for WNBA media relations. The recent controversies surrounding Caitlin Clark have significant implications for future WNBA media relations. As public scrutiny intensifies, both the league and its media partners must re-evaluate how they approach coverage of players. The ongoing backlash against negative narratives highlights a growing demand for more responsible journalism that prioritizes athlete well-being over sensationalism. Moving forward, it will be essential for WNBA officials to establish clear guidelines regarding media interactions and coverage standards. This could involve training programs for journalists focused on sensitivity and ethical reporting practices when discussing athletes' personal lives and mental health issues. Furthermore, fostering open communication between players and media representatives can help bridge gaps in understanding and promote more positive narratives about women's sports. As fans become more vocal about their expectations from both players and journalists, the WNBA has an opportunity to lead by example in creating a supportive environment that values transparency and accountability. There is an urgent call for change within WNBA culture as discussions around athlete treatment gain momentum, particularly regarding Caitlin Clark's experiences with online hate and scrutiny. Many advocates argue that the league must prioritize mental health initiatives and create safe spaces for players to express their concerns without fear of backlash or judgment. This cultural shift requires a commitment from both league officials and players to foster an environment where mutual respect is paramount. Hold on a second. Given the recent controversies, what changes do you believe are necessary for the WNBA's culture moving forward? How can the league better support its players? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. The need for accountability and compassion in sports reporting has never been more crucial. The WNBA must prioritize the mental health and well-being of its players, ensuring that they are supported rather than subjected to harmful narratives. Only then can we hope for a more respectful and inclusive environment in women's sports. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching.